What's up guys, my name's Tom, welcome back to another video, today back to another episode of my F1 2020 My Team Career Mode, episode 31, round 9 in season 2. And today is time for the Hungarian Grand Prix. If you haven't watched the previous episode, I highly recommend to go check it out. But focusing in this episode, it's time for the contract renewal of our teammate Lando Norris. So we're going to start to approach to him. I decided that I'm going to keep Lando, giving another chance to him, because if you guys don't know, Lando hasn't scored a single point so far this season. So I'm going to give him a chance. He's 90 rating, but if he doesn't deliver the results, I'm going to be forced to be fired. But we're going with a medium risk option, and he declined the offer. What the hell? He's not performing well, and I gave that offer of 8 million, and he doesn't want. So we have to wait for the next day to have another chance. This is the second and final chance to keep Lando on the team. And this time I'm being super friendly to him, and I'm going to offer a low risk offer, which it is 8.5 million almost. And this time he's going to accept that, and he's going to drive for us for the rest of the season. So I was actually quite pissed, but I have a lot of trust on Lando. You know, it is 90 rating, but something is not working at the moment. I don't know if it is the car that doesn't suit his driving style, I don't know. Or maybe the car is not really there in terms of pace, I don't know, because this car already showed that it's capable to score you know, consistent points. But anyway, we're going to press on. We're going to buy some upgrades before jumping onto the track. We're going to buy a minor one that should be ready for the next episode, the Belgian Grand Prix, for the engine power, so that is going to really come in handy when it comes to the straight line speed. And then we're going to buy another one for the minor upgrade for the aero, and this time I decided to risk a little bit and buy a rush upgrade, and if things go well, it's going to be ready in time for the Hungarian Grand Prix. You know that basically this track is the Monaco without barriers. Talking about straight line speed, we're going to put two old components, which is, they are still decent. They are in the 50% window, and this track doesn't require that much of a straight line speed. Unfortunately, the minor upgrade of the aero failed, so we need to fix them, and it's going to be for sure ready for the next episode, which is going to be the Belgian Grand Prix after the summer break. So very unfortunate. I really wanted to get this minor upgrade on the car for a track like the HUNGARORING, but anyway, I don't know if it is just me, but I've been having a lot of component failures. I know about you guys, the guys that play F1 2020 My Team Career Mode, but I've been having a lot of failures over the course of this My Team journey. But anyway, we're going to press on because we have a retirement announcement, and at the end of the season, Kimi Räikkönen will leave the sport to join the WRC Championship. Okay, I'm kidding. He's not saying anything here, but who knows? Probably I won't say that he is going to drive for the WRC, but anyway, Kimi is going to retire at the end of this season, so he's going to be farewell to the Finn. But performance chart, we are still behind Renault, but I think we are getting closer and closer to the midfield, which that's basically what I want. Just behind Alpine, which they brought, I believe, by the looks of it. When it comes to the performance chart, they seem to bring a major upgrade for this weekend, so I'm expecting that they're going to be quite a challenge for this weekend before the summer break. But anyway, we're in practice, we're doing our things. We're already doing the qualifying sim program on the first practice session, and this is I'm doing this because it's going to rain on the you know, the final two practice sessions, and it's not going to rain on qualifying and in the race. So I don't want to do the programs, you know, on rainy conditions, because there's no point to do that. So I did everything in just one practice session, and we went second fastest, 1/10 behind Valtteri Bottas, and that was our work. I did all practice sessions with success in one single practice sessions. I think it was the first time that this happened to me, but anyway, we have a bunch of resource points. I'm going to buy an upgrade, and it's going to be for the DRS, and it's going to be ready for the Italian Grand Prix in 2 episodes time. I know that is not an engine upgrade, but it is for the DRS. I think it's going to make the gap of the DRS, you know, much larger, and that is going to allow us to get more straight line speed. So it's not for the engine, the upgrade, but it's going to help it on the straight line speed. But anyway, it is qualifying time, and the pace has been really good. I'm carrying a high downforce setup, so we might struggle a little bit on the straight line during the race when it comes to to make the overtaking. This first lap, it was okay with some mistakes. Through the final corner, open the DRS, and we're going to a cross line, and it is a 1:15.3. And for the time being, we're just ahead of Nicholas Latifi in 5th place. We are jumping on the time, fast forwarding the time, and for the time being, we are in P20. So definitely, we are in a knockout zone, and we need to put another lap. With now the checkered flag is out, and this was the section of the lap where I struggled the most. You can see already gaining a huge chunk of time. We didn't improve on the first sector, but this second sector, I know that I left a lot of time left on the table. So I have a good feeling that we're going to get through to the second phase of qualifying. 7 tenths of improvement through the final corner. We dropped to the 6 tenths across the line. Will it be enough to get us through into Q2? And yes, it is, and only just we gone 15th fastest. And we are through into the second phase of qualifying, and behind us it is just George Russell. Sergio Perez in the Aston Martin, looking really good during this second season, is out as well for our teammate Lando Norris in penultimate place. So we just renewed the contract, and he's not delivering the results. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit pissed with Lando. But, you know, I'm going to give him the chance. I'm not going to fire him in the middle like we did with Luca Giotto in the first season. But anyway, we're going to just do one lap in Q2 because I just have available one set of tires as we went super wide through the first corner. And because I used 2 sets of softs in Q1, which I didn't want to, but that first lap was pretty bad. But anyway, we're going to press on through the fast and flowing second sector. We've been looking super strong in the middle part of the track because you know, we're carrying a high downforce setup through the final couple of corners. Here you need to be really patient. Make sure to not touch that curb on the inside because that will unsettle the car through the final corner. Make sure to keep it tidy and make sure to put the power down as early as you can. Open the DRS across the line, and I think this won't be enough to get us through to the top 10 shootout, and there is confirmation. We're going to start this Grand Prix in P16. We are knocked out of Q2, and we are the last of the runners in qualifying 2, and we are behind of Bohases. So that wasn't the best lap, but I think I extracted everything that I could from the car. So maybe it's going to be a tough race for us, but remember that this track, when it comes to strategy, the one stop is very powerful because the guys that are going to start on the softs are most likely to do the 2 stop because the tire can be pretty high because there's a lot of corners and you can lose a lot of time because of traffic, because there's not many overtaking opportunities with the exception of the start finish straight. So strategy is going to definitely spice things up. So without further ado, let's go to Sunday for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
It's race day in Budapest as we get ready for another round of the Formula One World Championship. We don't expect too many retirements at this track. There are plenty of current and former drivers with flawless finish rates here. In particular, Ralf Schumacher. He made it across the line in all 10 of his Hungarian Grand Prix starts. We're northeast of Budapest for the race today at the 2.7-mile Hungaroring circuit. 14 corners here, 8 to the right and 6 to the left, on a track where downforce is king and passing is notoriously difficult. With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Vettel, Gasly, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Albon, Ocon, Kvyat and Lewis Hamilton, Stroll, Matsushita, George Russell and Magnussen, Thomas, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo. They've taken a grid penalty. And Antonio Giovinazzi, De Vries, Raikkonen, Norris and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Last race we finished mid-table. We need to try and do better than that. Let's give this one 100%.
Thanks, Jeff, and welcome, guys, to the Hungarian Grand Prix. And strategy-wise is going to be a one-stop, not surprised. We're going to start on the mediums and then switch to the hards, and that is going to be basically the race for us. Hopefully, we can score some good points. It's going to be really hard, but this one-stop strategy is absolutely gold around here. Fire red lights, one race before the summer break, and here away we go to the Hungarian Grand Prix. Lights out, and it's been a good start. I always manage to get good starts, and we are already alongside the Haas of Kevin Magnussen, getting some good slipstream of George Russell. As we go into turn 1, we kind of boxed him, so we can't go up the inside. I'm going to try to go around the outside of the Haas. It's going to be really tricky, stepping a little bit on the curb, and that result a little bit in the oversteer. There is Sergio Perez. No, it is Lance Stroll. We're already up into P13, so it's been a good start by going around the outside as the two Alpine cars are trying to get a position on me, but they find themselves in the end to go side by side. But here we go, Fred the Needle trying to get the gap, and up the inside we go. George Russell, Stroll tried to go around the side. I was saying Perez, but somehow we made a double overtake through the fast left-hander, and that was spectacular. Probably the move of the race already on lap 1, but somehow we managed to finesse that move by threading the needle on George Russell, and that's us already up into P11, and ahead of us it is the last of the soft run. No, it is not. It is Daniel Ricciardo. Is the only one, I can tell you already, that started on the softest comparative tire and started outside of the top 10. So a very interesting start here. But there he is, Sergio Perez. This is a few corners later. He's stopping, and as well for George Russell, the two guys that we went side by side on the left-hander. So I wonder if we made contact. Most likely we made contact. I didn't feel anything, and I didn't carry any damage, so maybe it was my fault, I don't know. I forgot to show the replay cameras of those two guys when we were going side by side. But anyway, we're going to press on. Valtteri Bottas leads the way, followed by Verstappen, and then Gasly in a very lofty P3, and he might get AlphaTauri's first podium of the season, I believe. No, I think he got at Monaco, if I'm not wrong. And you could see Hamilton stuck on traffic for the time being, only in P9. So Hamilton, after a bad qualifying, I think he didn't have any grid penalties, but just basically a bad qualifying for the grid, which is trying to close the gap to his teammate Valtteri Bottas in the standings. But anyway, it seems that the soft tires are starting to run out a little bit, because Ocon is dropping a lot when it comes to the train ahead of him. And around the side we go through the first corner, open the DRS. That definitely is going to help us out, but he's still there, and we're going to find ourselves side by side through the entire first sector, maybe going a little bit wide, suffering a little bit of understeer. But in the end of the day, we made a move, and we are in the point scoring positions, P10. I'll take that every single day of the week, and it's been a great start. These first 5 laps of the Grand Prix have been really good. Now we are in some clear air, and we are setting personal bests as we are catching so quickly, very rapidly, these guys on the softs. And you can see Hamilton and the other guys on the red stripe tire are pulling into the pit, so definitely they are in a 2-stop, and they're going to fit the mediums, and I believe for the final stint is going to be another set of mediums. And there is confirmation. Verstappen, Alexander Albon should say, is pulling in, and everyone is fitting the mediums, so that's not much of a surprise. The mediums are going to stay out just a few more laps, you know, and set the hardest comparative tire. But there he is, Carlos Sainz is leading the way, and now is going to be the stage of the race where the 2-stoppers might struggle a little bit, because they're going to find these 1-stoppers, the likes of the Williams and the Haases and the Alfa Romeos. They are going longer during this race, and this is where the 2-stop is not good, because they're going to lose time stuck in each other. The air, they're going to damage their tires, and basically that makes not the best strategy around here. But anyway, we are in second place because everyone is doing their stops, and Kvyat, that led the race for just 1 lap, is pulling in, and we find ourselves in the lead of this race. The last time that this happened was at the Canadian Grand Prix in the first season. If you remember that, we were an absolute OG, by the way. But this is Kevin Magnussen ahead, and this is Nicholas Latifi under pressure from Gasly on the harder comparative tire. And Gasly started on the softs and switched to the hards. So maybe we have some soft runners. That's some soft runners in the first stint. They are trying the 1-stop, and they fitted the hard tires. And I can tell you already that is the same for Valtteri Bottas, as Gasly sends one down inside, this time on Magnussen. And it seems that he's not losing that much time with these guys, because he already made the move, and he's making them pretty quickly. So Gasly on a mission, and in terms of the running order at the moment, it is me and Lance Stroll. Me and Stroll have to stop. And then the first of the guys that already made their stops, it is Valtteri Bottas with the fastest lap, and it is on the 1-stop. So Bottas, I believe he has this race in the bag. And about us, I'm trying to nurse this tire, trying to get a consistent pace, which we are doing at the moment. I think we are pulling away of Lance Stroll around 4/10 of lap, 5/10 of lap. Our pace has been absolutely insane when we are on clear air. I don't know, but I'm feeling so well with these mediums. And here is an example of the midfield guys. They are doing their 1-stop. This is Matsushita in the Alpine, and he's going to switch to the harder comparative tire. And on lap 18 we're going to pull into the pits, and you can see Lance Stroll already pulled into the pits on this lap, and Bottas gets released, and on the next lap, still on lap 18, we're going to say goodbye to these mediums, address a brand new set of hot tires, and that is going to be basically the race for us. So here we go, and this team was probably one of the best of the season. I made the moves pretty nicely. You can see the tire wear is not that bad. We did 19 laps on the mediums, and the tire wear was around the 40-50%. And still, we managed to nest very well the tires and get an excellent pace. So I'm really happy with this thing. Hopefully it's going to be the same on the hard tires. We're going to disengage the pit limiter, and at the moment we are in P3, and now we are in P4 because Gasly jumped us. But we have a podium place on our side. We're matching our best results so far in this My Team career mode. We got P4 twice in Season 1, but it's looking good to get our first podium in our My Team career mode. So we need really push, but we need some information about Gasly first.
Gasly is ahead of you. They're on old hards. Their tyres are 10 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 18.8.
I want to know some information about Gasly, because I know that he has all the harder tyres, but I wanted to know how many laps those tyres have, because it's going to be really hard to make the move, and that's due to the straight line speed on the on the start finish rate. But this is Kevin Magnussen, and guess in position he is at the moment. He is in 6th place, carrying that one stop to absolute perfection, but he's carrying a huge train behind him, so it's going to be a hard task for the Dan to score Haas's first points of the season. But anyway, we're going purple on the second sector, so definitely the pace is there, but we are in the DRS range, but the straight line speed is not helping at the moment. High wings, our engine is not in the best state, and as you can see, I'm pushing so hard that I almost hit the back of Gasly, and it's going to be a really hard task to overtake this AlphaTauri. But anyway, I'm not going to give up. You can see that I'm starting to get closer and closer, but losing a little bit of back end as I'm trying to push as hard as I can. You have no idea how much I was pushing in this second stint. At the same time, try to nurse a little bit of tires, and Vettel looking for a move on Magnussen. He's been stuck for maybe 5 laps, I can tell you. But Magnussen is doing a cracking job at the moment, but he can't do anything in that Haas and in those much worn hard tires. And Vettel goes up the inside in a much faster Ferrari in a 2-stop with much better tires, and he gets up into P6, but he's not looking good for Magnussen and has to score their first points of the season as Carlos Sainz goes up the inside through the first corner, and that is move done and dusted, and Magnussen gets a pole run, so he might get be under pressure of the Red Bull of Alexander Albon. There he goes, trying to go run outside. Magnussen doing everything to keep this position, but the points finishing position are starting to vanish away their chances to finish on the points in this Hungarian Grand Prix. And look how many positions now the AlphaTauri of Kvyat overtaking Rani outside, and Magnussen I think is already almost down to the points, so kicking a man that is already down, and that is very unfortunate for Magnussen. Let me tell you that he completely deserved those points, but it seems most likely that is not going to accomplish that. It actually is kind of similar, this genius strategy from Haas, I can tell you, from the real-life Hungarian Grand Prix. You remember when Magnussen decided to make a pit stop on the formation lap. But anyway, we're keeping the distance to Gasly, but what I need is get just a little bit more closer. We're starting to run out of ERS and fuel, because I'm pushing really hard, but I can't seem to get a move on this man because I'm struggling for straight line speed. You can see having a little bit of understeer, and starting lap 30 in a few moments time. I think we are kind of close. We are 4 tenths away of the AlphaTauri. We're going to open the DRS, and we'll see if we can try to make our first attempt as we're gaining and gaining on Pierre Gas. I think this is the first time that we are really close to the AlphaTauri. Down inside we go through the first corner, really late on the brakes, and that's us into the podium place at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and we might get our first podium Formula 1 after a great move on the Pierre Gasly. Let's watch the replay. So much commitment. Braking zone. What a move that we did on the AlphaTauri. A little bit of a lockup, but you can't blame me. It was a very, very late launch a la Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull days, and Gasly had absolutely no chance. He was surprised out of nowhere. What a brilliant overtake, and we are up on the final step of the podium, but it is not over yet because Gasly is going to be pretty pacey. on the closing stages of the Grand Prix, because I've been forcing a lot these times. And let's watch once again the replay. What a move that we made. Probably, you know, maybe the best move that we did so far this season, as we are starting the final lap. Gasly in the DRS zone, but you can see that we have plenty of ERS and fuel to deploy, so he's not going to have any chance. He's not gaining that much, and I think we are getting very close to score our first podium in the My Team career mode, and he's going to be after starting way down the order, and we managed to accomplish to play this strategy to absolute perfection. Valtteri Bottas wins the Grand Prix, and I absolutely do not care about it, because we're going to score our first podium in the My Team career mode. Yes!
Yes, Tom! Podium! Yes! Great job! Oh, coming all the way from P15. You really had me there. Oh, my nerves, really. I'm too old for that. I'm really too old for that. It was just a phenomenal drive. You earned that one today. Phenomenal driving there from you. Oh boy, we will be celebrating tonight, that's for sure, because you earned that one today. Many more podiums to come, but that is only the start.
Yes! Yes, guys! Yes! First podium! Come on! Yes! Yes! You guys deserve it. I deserve it. Oh boy, hard work pays off. Yes! Finally, second season already our first podium. Great job, guys. Awesome strategy. Great work back at the factory. Oh boy, you guys deserve that after the hard work that we've been doing in these last 2 seasons. You guys are absolute legends. Legends. Finally, we get what we deserve. I pay the drinks tonight. Woo!
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy and to stay out of trouble.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
You love to see it. My suit on the podium, a Portuguese flag. Oh, this feels really good. I know it's just a game, but I'm really happy with this result. And especially after starting, you know, in way down the road after a poor qualifying, we managed to pull something through in the race, and there is 15 precious points at the end of the day. I was expecting a lot of struggles in the race, but it wasn't the case. We played the strategy to absolute perfection, and I forgot to show you during the race, but Hamilton retired to engine failure, and that is going to mean big things when it comes to the championship. But for us, it is P3. Definitely Hamilton's DNF helped us to get this podium, but oh boy, really happy with this result. And there he is, championship standings, now in P8, 51 points, and we are not very far from Sergio Perez and Lance Stroll, so we might get a chance, you know, to battle for P3. It's going to be really hard, but constructor standings, we're still in P7, stuck in P7, but I really need Lando to start to pick up the pace, because we can easily get at least P5 in the constructor standings. I don't want to finish in P7 like we did on the last season. But guys, that has been episode 31 of my F1 2020 My Team career mode. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to smash like and subscribe to the channel to do simply more Formula 1 content as we climb our way to the 1K subscribers. We're getting really close to that number, so let's try to get that ASAP. Activate the scenario waits. Thanks for the support that you guys are giving in the channel lately. Really appreciate that. You guys are absolute legends. And once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on brand new video next time. But for now, take care.